The starship Odyssey moved through the silent dark of deep space. It was a small human exploration vessel, alone far from any known trade route. Captain Rhea sat on the command chair, watching the screen filled with black emptiness and slow drifting light from distant stars. Her crew had been out here for 6 months, searching for signs of ancient alien technology. Until now they had found nothing. Then it came, a single pulse on the communication screen. A low, deep sound that made the control room lights flicker for a second. The sound repeated every 60 seconds. It was not a random echo. It was too clean, too perfect. Lieutenant Mason looked up from his console. "Captain, we just picked up a repeating signal. I ran it through our filters. It's not background noise, it's something alive." Rhea leaned forward. "Alive? How?" Mason turned the sound louder. The pulse came again, like a slow heartbeat. The room went quiet. Every crew member listened, feeling that strange sound move through the air like a slow drumbeat from the dark. Engineer Leo checked his readings. "It's organic, Captain. The pattern matches a heart rhythm, 60 beats per minute. Exactly human rate," Rhea frowned. "Human? Out here? That's impossible." The crew exchanged worried looks. The signal came again, steady and patient. Navigator Suri zoomed the radar. "It's coming from Sector 09 Beta. That's inside Empire territory." The room went colder. Everyone knew what that meant. The Galactic Empire controlled half the known galaxy. They did not welcome outsiders. Their laws were strict. Their borders were deadly. Rhea's voice dropped. "Mark the coordinates. Set course." Suri hesitated. "Captain, that area is restricted. The Empire kills trespassers." Rhea's eyes stayed on the dark screen. "Then we'll move quietly." The Odyssey changed direction. Engines glowed faint blue as it entered stealth mode. The ship drifted into the forbidden zone, like a shadow sliding through darkness. Hours passed. The heartbeat continued. The closer they came, the stronger the signal grew. The rhythm echoed through the ship's metal walls like a hidden drum. Leo stared at his monitor. "Captain, there are ships ahead." A lot of ships. The radar lit up with hundreds of contacts, thousands, the entire sky filled with dots. Huge vessels of different sizes hung in perfect lines around a blue planet. No one spoke. Mason whispered, "It's a fleet. Empire fleet, but they're not moving." Rhea zoomed the visual feed. Every alien warship was still, engines cold, weapons silent. No radio, no movement, no sign of life. Only the pulse continued, rising from the planet and passing through every ship like one shared breath. Rhea said slowly, "They're synchronized. They're doing this together." The crew stared as a faint red glow began to move between the ships, jumping like lightning arcs. It followed the pulse, flashing every time the sound hit. It looked like a ritual, a ceremony written in light. Leo felt sweat on his neck. "Captain, I don't think this is military. It's something else." "Something old," Rhea nodded. "Record everything. Keep silent mode active." The ship's sensors worked quietly, capturing every flash and sound. Then the ship lights flickered again. Every screen glitched for half a second. Static filled the speakers. A voice came through, soft, calm, and not human. "Do not watch the ritual," the sound cut off. The crew froze. No one moved. Mason looked around the room. "Did everyone hear that?" Leo's hand shook on the console. It spoke in English. Rhea felt her heart race. "Replay it." Mason tried, but the recording was blank. No voice, no signal, only silence. The heartbeat returned, stronger than before. This time it felt closer, like something breathing inside the ship. Suddenly every light outside the window flared. The Empire ships turned, thousands of them all at once. Their sensor arrays faced directly toward the human vessel. Shuri gasped. "Captain, they see us." Rhea gripped the armrest. "All power to shields, stay calm. No sudden moves." The alien fleet remained silent, but their lights pulsed faster, matching the human ship's own power rhythm. It was as if the massive armada was scanning every beat of the humans' hearts. Leo whispered, "They're looking inside us." Mason swallowed. "Why aren't they attacking?" The pulse stopped. Complete silence. The space around them went still. Even the hum of the engines seemed to vanish. Rhea said quietly, "What did we just interrupt?" Before anyone could answer, the ship's communication screen lit up again. A single line of alien symbols appeared, glowing red. Leo tried to translate. It says, "You are not invited." Then the Empire fleet powered up. Thousands of engines came alive with white fire. Energy fields shimmered. Rhea shouted, "Evasive pattern! Move!" The Odyssey turned sharply, engines burning. Alarms filled the control room, but none of the Empire ships fired. They only watched. Every ship's lights blinked in perfect unison. The same silent rhythm. The same hidden heartbeat. As the Odyssey fled into the dark, the pulse followed them through the radio, weaker now, but still there. Rhea stared at the screen, her face pale. That wasn't a signal. That was a warning. Leo nodded slowly. Then the question is, Captain, what happens when the ritual begins again? The camera would fade on the empty stars, the heartbeat still echoing faintly in the background. The Odyssey drifted in the shadow of a dead moon. The crew sat silent. No one spoke for a long time. The alien fleet still floated around the blue planet in perfect lines. Every ship glowed faint red. The strange pulse still came through the comms, like a deep heartbeat from the dark. Captain Rhea looked tired but focused. "Report," Lieutenant Mason said. "All systems stable." Stealth mode holding. "The Empire ships have not moved since we hid." Engineer Leo checked the readings. "The pulse is rising. The energy level has doubled in the last hour. Whatever this ritual is, it's building to something big." Navigator Suri pointed at her screen. "Look at the planet. The clouds are forming circles, perfect rings. Something on the surface is creating them." Rhea walked to the front window. The planet below looked peaceful, but faint blue lights were spreading across its continents. From space, they looked like glowing lines connecting huge cities into one pattern. Leo zoomed the camera. "Those are not cities. They are temples. Thousands of them. All active." The crew watched the image. In each temple stood tall, silver-skinned aliens, moving in exact rhythm. They lifted their arms toward the sky. Energy shot upward from every temple, joining into one giant beam that reached the orbiting fleet. The light linked ship to ship until the whole armada looked like one massive living machine. Rhea whispered, "They are performing it." "The silent ritual," Mason said. "I don't get it. What are they trying to do?" Leo looked at his data. "The energy is not random. It's organized. It's feeding into something above the planet. Look, high above the fleet, a huge sphere of light was forming. It looked like a small sun, but its glow was cold. The energy from the ships was filling it. Every time the heartbeat came, the sphere pulsed brighter. Shuri stared at it. "That thing is not natural," Leo said quietly. "It's artificial. I'm detecting gravitational distortion." "It's pulling space inward," Rhea frowned. "A weapon?" Leo shook his head. "Not just a weapon. It's the same energy signature as a black hole generator." The room went still. Everyone understood the danger. A black hole that size could destroy entire systems. Rhea said, "Why would anyone create that in orbit of their own planet?" Mason said, "Unless they plan to destroy themselves." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. The idea sounded impossible, but the evidence was right there. Suddenly the comms filled with a faint whispering sound. Not from one voice, but thousands, maybe millions. The alien chant filled the air like a wave of cold water. No one could understand the words, but they felt the meaning: surrender, silence, devotion. Leo turned pale. "I decoded a few words. They say silence the star. Feed the void." Rhea's voice hardened. "They are feeding the black hole." Outside, one of the Empire ships broke formation. Its lights flickered. Then it vanished. No explosion, no debris. It simply disappeared into the dark. Suri gasped. "It's gone," Mason said. "Where did it go?" Leo's hands shook. "It was absorbed. The energy readings show it got pulled into the field." "They are sacrificing their own ships," Rhea whispered. "This is not war. This is religion." The pulse grew faster. The chant became louder. The entire fleet glowed bright red now. The blue planet below turned darker as the black hole sphere grew larger above it. Then something strange happened. A new signal appeared on their screen. It was a direct transmission from the planet. The message was short. Only one sentence. "We see you." The bridge went quiet. Rhea froze. "Did they detect us?" Leo checked. "They know exactly where we are, Captain." Before she could respond, a beam of light shot up from the planet straight toward their location. The Odyssey rocked hard as the light passed through the hull like a scanner. Every crew member felt a sudden rush inside their head. Images, voices, 1,000 faces of silver-skinned beings staring at them. Then the same calm voice that warned them before returned. "Do not watch the ritual," Rhea shouted. "Block the signal." But it was too late. The lights inside the ship dimmed. The screens filled with alien symbols. Then just as quickly, everything returned to normal. Mason breathed hard. "What was that?" Leo said, "They showed us something. They wanted us to feel it." Rhea looked at the black sphere above the planet. It was now 3 times larger. She said slowly, "They're not summoning destruction. They're summoning something." The crew watched in silence. The glowing sphere began to pulse like a beating heart. Every time it flashed, a shockwave of energy spread across the fleet. The ships trembled, but did not break. Instead, they glowed brighter. Suri said, "Captain, look at the atmosphere. Something is forming inside the clouds." Rhea leaned closer. A shadow moved across the blue sky of the planet. Huge, shapeless, dark as space itself. It was rising from the surface, stretching upward like smoke. Leo whispered, "That's not a machine. That's a life form." The chanting grew louder until the ship's speakers started to vibrate. Everyone covered their ears. Then the sound stopped. Total silence. The black sphere stopped pulsing. The shadow in the clouds froze in place, and then, for the first time, a pair of glowing eyes opened within the darkness. 2 massive white lights stared upward through the clouds, straight into the orbiting fleet and far beyond. Rhea felt her throat tighten. The creature was looking at them. Through space, through everything. It could see them, Leo whispered. "It's alive," Rhea said softly. "No, it's awake." The screen flickered again. One final alien message appeared. "Observe, human." And then the sphere above the planet began to spin. The blackness spread wider. The ritual was not over. It had just begun. The Odyssey floated above the planet in silence. No one on board spoke. The screens still showed the image of the dark sphere turning slowly in orbit. The creature's glowing eyes had disappeared into the clouds below, but every person on the ship could still feel its presence. Captain Rhea stood near the window. Her hands were cold. "Status report," she said quietly. Lieutenant Mason checked his console. "All systems stable. Radiation is off the scale, but shields are holding." Engineer Leo spoke next. "The alien fleet has stopped transmitting. Their energy pattern is locked to the sphere. Every ship is connected. They are feeding it life." Rhea nodded slowly. "Then we watch. We record everything. No transmissions. No sound." Navigator Suri whispered, "Captain, what if they see us again?" Rhea looked at her. "Then we will pretend we were never here." For a moment the bridge was still. Only the hum of the engines filled the air. Then the comms crackled. A deep voice spoke through static. Calm, slow, and clear. It spoke in perfect English. "Observe." Everyone froze. The word repeated once more, louder this time. "Observe," Rhea whispered. "They know we are watching," Mason said. "Captain, should we retreat?" Rhea's eyes stayed fixed on the window. "No, if they wanted us gone, we would already be gone." The screen flashed bright white. Cameras zoomed on the planet's surface. Massive alien cities had come alive. Billions of silver-skinned beings stood outside their homes. They were kneeling, all facing the same direction. They stared at the sky, toward the black sphere above their world. The crew watched, speechless. The aliens began to chant again. The sound rose in waves across the planet. The sphere glowed brighter and brighter until it was like a cold sun. Leo looked at the readings. "Captain, the sphere is producing gravitational waves. They are forming a pattern. It's like..." "A heartbeat again," Suri said softly. "The whole planet is part of it now." Rhea stared at the image. The chanting, the ships, the light, everything was synchronized. It was not random. It was a ritual built with perfect precision. Then the black sphere opened, not like a machine, more like an eye. A massive shape unfolded from inside. A being made of light and shadow stepped out. It was the same figure from the clouds, but now it stood in the void of space, tall as a moon, its body glowing white and silver, its face hidden by darkness. Leo whispered, "It's not energy. It's alive." The being looked down at the planet. The alien chanting grew louder, reaching a level the humans could barely endure. Then the creature turned its head. Two glowing lights appeared where its eyes should be. They pointed straight toward the Odyssey. Every screen went black. Every system stopped. The ship went dead in 1 second. Mason shouted, "We lost power!" Leo tried to restart the main engine. No response. "It's not a malfunction. It's controlling us." The creature's voice filled the ship, not through speakers, but directly inside their minds. "You should not be here," Rhea gasped. "Who are you?" The voice answered, "We are the silent ones. We hear the stars breathe. You make noise where there should be none." Leo's hands shook. "It's reading our thoughts," Rhea tried to stay calm. "We mean no harm." "We are explorers," the voice replied. "You are not meant to see what cannot be seen." The sound faded, and the power came back. Lights flickered on. The ship was still. Outside, the alien fleet began to move for the first time. The ships formed a circle around the glowing being. Energy streams connected them like a web. The light pulsed with every beat. Leo said, "Captain, look at the readings. The ships are giving up their energy to feed it." Rhea said, "How many lives are on those ships?" Suri whispered, "Billions." The glowing being raised one arm. Every ship in the circle turned to dust. No explosion. No wreckage. They simply broke apart and vanished into streams of light that flowed into the creature's body. Leo said, "It's feeding. It's absorbing them." Mason looked sick. "They are sacrificing themselves." The being looked up again toward the Odyssey. For a moment, everything went silent. Then every human on board felt something impossible, a weight pressing on their minds, heavy and cold. It felt like the creature was looking inside their thoughts. Rhea whispered, "It's searching us." Leo said, "Captain, I can feel it. It's inside my head. It's reading every memory," the voice returned. "You are different. You are not silent. You are made of noise," Rhea said. "What do you mean?" The being tilted its head slightly. "You live in chaos. You create sound. You disturb the stillness of the stars." The crew could barely breathe. The pressure grew stronger. The creature's eyes glowed brighter. Then suddenly it looked away. The alien voice echoed again. "Observe humans. You will witness the birth of silence." The being raised both hands. The planet below began to shake. Oceans lifted. Mountains cracked. The light from the cities started to fade. The chant turned into screams. Leo said, "It's destroying them." Rhea said, "Record everything. The world is ending." The black sphere widened until it swallowed the planet completely. 1 second it was there, the next it was gone. Nothing remained, no light, no debris, no sound, only the glowing being remained, standing in the empty space where the planet once was. The voice spoke one final time. "This is silence. This is peace." Then the creature turned its gaze back toward the humans. Its eyes burned white. Rhea whispered, "It's looking at Earth." The voice faded, leaving one last message inside their minds. "The stars will follow. The silence will spread." The Odyssey began to shake as gravity waves hit the ship. Rhea shouted, "Engines full! Pull us out of range!" The ship turned and fled into deep space. Behind them, the light of the destroyed world faded into darkness. Leo sat in his chair, trembling. "We just saw a civilization erase itself." Rhea stared at the stars. "No, we saw something worse. We saw what happens when silence becomes a god." The Odyssey moved through the empty dark, far from the destroyed planet. Every person on board sat quiet. The sound of the engines was the only thing they could hear. Captain Rhea looked at the dark screen showing the last recorded image of the glowing being. It was still there, standing in the void, surrounded by broken light and dust. Engineer Leo stared at the readings. "Captain, the energy level around that thing is still climbing. It's not fading. It's growing stronger," Rhea said. "What about the fleet?" Lieutenant Mason replied, "Gone. Every Empire ship was absorbed. There is nothing left. The creature consumed them all, Navigator Suri whispered. An entire civilization just vanished. Why would they do this to themselves? Leo said, maybe they believed they were not dying. Maybe they believed they were becoming part of it. The bridge lights flickered again. For a moment the screens went black. Then the same deep voice filled the air. You cannot run from silence. Everyone froze. The voice came from inside the ship. It was not through the comms. It was inside their minds again. Rhea said, show yourself. The main screen flashed. The image appeared. The creature filled the view, enormous and calm. Its body glowed like fire hidden under ice. Its eyes were black holes. Around it floated fragments of the Empire's ships, spinning like small moons. The light from the creature swallowed them one by one. Leo whispered, it's feeding again. Rhea asked, what are you? The voice answered, I am the end of sound. I am what they created to escape the noise of life. Mason said, you killed them all. The creature's eyes moved toward him. The voice was soft. They wanted this. They gave themselves to peace. You humans cannot understand peace. You fear it, Rhea said. You call this peace? You erased a world, the voice replied. Silence is mercy. Existence is noise. Noise breeds pain. Pain breeds war. Silence ends all of it. The bridge shook. Lights dimmed. Every screen showed static. Leo shouted, it's affecting our systems again. We need distance, Rhea said. Back us out. Maximum burn. The ship turned and moved away. But the creature followed. It did not move fast. It did not need to. Space itself bent around it. The stars near it vanished, as if being swallowed by a dark wave. Suri said, Captain, gravity readings are unstable. Space around it is collapsing. Rhea said, keep engines full. The creature kept coming closer. The crew could feel pressure in their heads again. The voice returned, louder this time. You carry noise within you. You will never be still. You are different from all others, Rhea shouted. We are human. We are alive. That is what makes us different. The creature's head tilted slightly. Alive. The word you use to hide from what you fear. To live is to make sound, to speak, to destroy, Leo whispered. Captain, I think it's trying to understand us. The being raised one hand. A beam of white light shot out, passing over the Odyssey. The crew screamed as their memories flashed before their eyes. Childhood laughter, rain, music, human voices all flashing like lightning inside their heads. The voice said, what is this? What is this chaos? Rhea fell to her knees. It's emotion. It's life. The being seemed confused. The black holes in its eyes flickered. The light around it trembled. You carry disorder. It burns, it echoes. Rhea looked up. That's what we are. We make sound, we feel. You can't silence us. The creature's voice grew deeper. Then you are dangerous, Mason said. Captain, it's charging something. Outside the window, the creature's chest glowed bright red. Energy built around it like a storm. Rhea shouted, evasive pattern now. The Odyssey turned hard. A wave of energy passed where the ship had been seconds before. The blast hit empty space, tearing a hole that swallowed starlight. Leo said, that was a gravity pulse. If it had hit us, we'd be gone. The being spoke again. Your sound must end. The ship shook. Metal groaned. Rhea grabbed the console. All power to shields. Prepare countermeasures. Leo's hands moved fast. We can overload the sensor field. Maybe it will blind it for a moment. Do it, Rhea said. Leo activated the overload. The Odyssey burst in a flash of blue light. The creature paused. Its glowing body flickered. Rhea shouted, now, burn engines. The ship darted away at full speed. Behind them, the creature stood still, watching, silent. After a long moment, the ship escaped its gravity field. The stars looked normal again. Rhea fell into her seat. The crew sat exhausted, breathing hard. Leo said quietly, Captain, that thing is a god to them. The god of silence? Rhea looked at the stars. Then we're its opposite, Mason said. You mean noise? Rhea nodded. We are the sound it can't destroy. The comms beeped. A weak signal came through, not from the creature, but from deep space ahead. Suri said, Captain, it's a message. Origin unknown. The signal repeated 3 times. A familiar human voice spoke. This is Earth Command to Odyssey. We detected massive energy in your sector. Report immediately. Rhea's eyes widened. Earth command. They heard it too. Leo looked at her. If that thing is heading our way, they need to know. Rhea said, we tell them everything. But first, we have to make sure the god of silence doesn't follow. She looked out the window again. The stars shimmered faintly. For a second, she thought she saw movement in the distance, two faint white lights like eyes, watching from far away. She whispered, it's not done with us. The Odyssey raced through deep space, leaving behind the wreckage of the Empire and the dark glow of the god of silence. Inside the ship, every sound felt heavy. Every heartbeat was too loud. The crew had seen an entire world die. None of them could forget it. Captain Rhea sat in her chair. Her face was pale but firm. Open a channel to Earth Command. Lieutenant Mason nodded. Channel open. Static filled the speakers. Then a voice came through, clear and human. Odyssey, this is Earth Command. Your last transmission was incomplete. What is your status? Rhea took a deep breath. Command, we have encountered something beyond known science. An entity of immense power. It destroyed an entire planet of the Galactic Empire. We believe it is alive. We call it the God of Silence. There was a long pause. Then the voice said, repeat that, Odyssey. Rhea said again, the Empire is gone. Their own ritual summoned it. It feeds on sound, on life, on chaos. It calls silence peace. And now it knows about us. Engineer Leo looked at his readings. Captain, it's not just following. It's tracking our transmissions. It's listening. Rhea said, command, stop broadcasting. It can hear you, but it was too late. Every screen on the ship flashed white. A deep tone filled the air. The crew covered their ears. The signal came straight from the direction of Earth. Suri shouted, the god is moving! It's using the old hyperspace lanes. It's heading toward our system. Rhea turned to the crew. We can't lead it to Earth. We have to stop it out here. Leo said, how do we stop something that eats stars? Rhea looked at him. We fight it with what it hates most. Mason frowned. Sound? Rhea nodded. Human noise, emotion, life. The idea sounded impossible, but it was the only one they had. Leo began working on the ship's sound generators. He mixed human voice patterns, songs, laughter, even the sound of thunder and rain. He called it the noise field. Hours passed. The god of silence came closer. The stars behind it went dark. Its body glowed silver like a moving storm. The same cold voice entered their minds again. You cannot stop silence. You are only delaying peace. Rhea said, maybe peace isn't what you think it is. The Odyssey faced the creature head-on. Leo activated the noise field. The ship erupted with sound. Waves of human voices filled space. Laughter, crying, music, shouting. Every memory of life that the humans had ever recorded blasted through the dark. The god of silence stopped moving. Its body trembled. The stars around it flickered back to life. The voice grew distorted. What is this disorder? It burns, Rhea shouted. You wanted silence. Now hear us live. The sound waves hit the creature like fire. Its glowing form cracked with flashes of red light. The black holes in its eyes flickered. Leo said, it's working. It can't process emotion. It's too much. The creature screamed without sound. A ripple spread across space. For a moment it vanished. Then it reappeared, weaker. Its light dimmed. Mason said, we hurt it, but it's still here. Rhea said, then we hit it again. The ship increased power to the noise field. Every frequency of human sound filled the void. Voices from centuries of human history echoed in the darkness. Speeches, songs, even the heartbeat of a newborn. The god's voice came again, now full of anger. You defy peace. You bring chaos, Rhea said. We bring life. The creature raised its arms. Energy built in its chest again. A massive wave of silence spread outward. Every sound from the ship vanished. The crew could not even hear their own breathing. Leo shouted, but no one could hear him. The silence was alive. It pressed on their skin like ice. Rhea slammed her hand on the console. Reboot manual speakers now. Leo hit the emergency control. The ship's speakers burst back with sound. A single human song played through every channel. It was a child's lullaby from Earth. Simple, soft, pure. The silence cracked. The creature flinched as if wounded. The lullaby continued. The melody carried through space like light. The god's body shook violently. Its eyes dimmed. Leo said, "Captain, it can't bear it." "The emotion is too strong." Rhea said, "Keep it playing." The creature reached out one final time. Its massive hand touched the ship's energy field. For a moment, everything froze. The crew saw flashes inside their minds, visions of the Empire's cities, of their temples, their people kneeling. Then they saw the truth. The aliens had created the god to escape fear, pain, and war. But in doing so, they gave up their souls. The vision ended. The god's voice became faint. "You will bring noise to the stars. The silence will return for you." Then its body began to break apart. Pieces of light floated away like dust. Space filled with color again. The stars reappeared, shining brighter than before. The crew watched in silence. Leo's eyes were wet. "It's gone," Rhea said softly. "No, it's not gone. It's waiting." The communication screen beeped again. Earth Command came through. "Odyssey, we detected a massive energy collapse near your location. Report." Rhea said, "Command, we made contact with something divine and deadly. The god of silence has been stopped, but not destroyed." Command said, "Understood. Return home immediately." "Earth wants full debrief." Rhea looked at the stars. "We're on our way." As the Odyssey turned toward Earth, the crew relaxed for the first time. The noise field powered down. Only the soft hum of the engines remained. But far behind them, in the blackness, two faint white lights blinked once, like eyes watching from the dark. Leo saw it on the rear camera. "Captain." "It's still there." Rhea didn't answer. She only stared at the screen and whispered, "Then we'd better be ready." The scene faded with the sound of a single heartbeat echoing through space, slow and steady, as if the silence had only gone to sleep. The Odyssey returned to human space after weeks of silence. The stars of the Sol system burned bright and calm, but the crew could not relax. They had faced something that was not supposed to exist. Captain Rhea watched Earth grow larger on the screen. Cities glittered on the dark surface, peaceful and unaware of what had happened beyond their sky. Leo whispered, "It feels strange coming home." "Like nothing has changed, but everything has," Suri nodded. "We saw gods die, and no one here even knows," Rhea said quietly. "They will know soon." As they entered orbit, Earth Command hailed them. "Odyssey, you are cleared to dock at Station Atlas. Prepare for debrief and quarantine." When the crew stepped onto the station, soldiers stood waiting. Scientists surrounded them with scanners and questions. Everyone looked tense. A man in a black uniform approached. His nameplate read Director Karan. His voice was deep and sharp. "Captain Rhea, I'm the new head of the Earth Defense Bureau. You brought something back with you." Rhea frowned. "We brought back data and warning signs, not the creature." Karan stared at her. "Then explain this." He tapped a console. A hologram appeared, showing a massive object moving near Jupiter's orbit. It was faint, ghost-like, but huge. Leo's mouth went dry. "That's impossible." "The god was destroyed," Karan said. "Destroyed. Or changed." Suri looked closer. "That's not the god. Look at the shape." "That's a ship." The hologram zoomed in. It was a fleet, 1,000 alien ships made of black metal. Their insignia glowed in crimson. Rhea whispered, "The Empire." Karan nodded. "We detected their signal 3 hours ago. They call themselves the Silent Remnant. They claim to serve the god of silence and punish those who defied it." Rhea felt cold. "They think we killed their god," Karan said. "They're not just thinking. They're coming." An alarm blared through the station. Red lights flashed. A voice shouted over the speakers, "Incoming warp signatures near Saturn. Massive energy buildup." Karan said, "Get your crew ready, Captain. Humanity is at war." The Odyssey was refitted with new weapons and faster drives. The crew had no rest. The once peaceful human fleets were now preparing for the first real battle of their existence. Rhea stood on the command deck, staring at the tactical display. Hundreds of human ships formed lines near the Moon Titan. The alien fleet glowed like a red storm, approaching through space. Leo said, "Captain, their energy levels are off the charts. They're using something that feels Alive, Suri replied. It's like their ships breathe. The readings are not mechanical. Rhea said they're feeding off the god's energy. The silence gave them power. A low hum filled every radio channel. A single voice spoke, cold and clear. You took our god. You filled the stars with noise. Now we bring silence back. The communication screen flickered. A tall alien appeared wearing armor made of black crystal. His eyes glowed pale blue. I am Praetor Val of the Silent Remnant. You humans scream too loudly. Your voices reached beyond your place. The god of silence sleeps, but he will rise again through us. Rhea replied, You think silence is peace, but all it brings is death. Val smiled slightly. Death is quiet. That is enough. The transmission ended. The alien fleet opened fire. Beams of white energy shot through the void. Human ships exploded in seconds. The soundless vacuum filled with light. The battle for the solar system had begun. The Odyssey moved between wrecks, firing plasma rounds. Leo shouted, Shields at 50%. Suri said, They're jamming all communication. We're blind, Rhea ordered. Switch to manual targeting. Focus on their lead ship. Take out their control center. The Odyssey turned sharply and fired a barrage. The alien ship's hull cracked, but something strange happened. The pieces did not drift apart. They moved back together like liquid metal. Leo said, They're regenerating. It's alive, Suri gasped. The ships are not machines. They're bioforms, living extensions of the god's essence. Rhea clenched her jaw. Then we destroy their link. She pointed at a pulsating orb near the enemy formation. It pulsed like a heart. That's the nexus. That's what binds them. The Odyssey charged forward. Explosions lit the blackness. Dozens of human ships fell behind them. Rhea shouted, Full power to engines! Leo, prepare the sonic disruptor. Leo nodded. But if we use it at this range, it could tear our own ship apart, Rhea said. Then make it count. They aimed at the glowing heart. The disruptor charged, humming louder and louder, until every panel on the ship shook. Suri yelled, Now! The Odyssey fired. A wave of pure sound ripped through space. Every frequency of human voice, emotion, and memory burst outward in one blinding strike. The Nexus screamed. The alien ships froze mid-flight, their glowing lights flickering out. The red storm turned gray. Leo shouted, It's working! They're losing the connection. But before they could celebrate, the Odyssey was hit by a massive beam. The ship spun out of control. Alarms blared. Panels exploded. Suri cried out, Main engines offline! We're losing altitude! Rhea grabbed the control chair. Brace for impact. The Odyssey crashed into one of Saturn's icy rings. The impact sent shards of ice flying like glass. The ship groaned and stopped. Smoke filled the bridge. Leo coughed. Everyone alive? Rhea nodded slowly. For now. They looked at the main screen. The alien fleet was retreating, damaged but not destroyed. The Nexus was dim, still pulsing weakly. Suri said softly, We hurt them. But they're not done. Rhea stared into the cold light of Saturn. And neither are we. Far away, hidden among the stars, Praetor Val watched the human transmissions. He turned to his soldiers. The humans use their noise like a weapon, he said. Then we will learn to scream. The scene faded to black as his fleet began rebuilding itself, stronger, angrier and ready for vengeance. The Odyssey drifted above the icy rings of Saturn, half-broken and silent. The once proud ship now looked like a wounded bird floating through cold space. Inside, the crew worked in dim light. Sparks jumped from cracked wires. The hum of failing systems filled the air. Rhea stood at the main console, eyes focused on the faint pulse of the alien Nexus on the screen. It was still alive, still beating like a slow, steady drum. Leo said softly, The signal is rebuilding itself. The aliens are linking again. If they finish, the god of silence might come back. Suri added, We can't let that happen. But our weapons are gone. The disruptor is burned out. Rhea turned toward the crew. Then we find another way. Humanity is not done yet. She opened the emergency channel to Earth Command. Static filled the speakers. Then a voice answered, shaky but firm. This is Command. Odyssey, what's your status? Rhea said, We stopped the first wave, but they're not defeated. The silent remnant is rebuilding near Titan. The Nexus is alive, Command replied. We've lost most of our fleet. We can't send help. Rhea looked at her crew. Then we finish this ourselves. The ship's power was low, but Leo managed to restart one reactor. We have enough energy for one last jump, he said. Rhea nodded. Good, we're going straight to the Nexus. Suri stared at her. That's suicide, Captain. Rhea smiled faintly. Maybe, but better us than the whole planet. The Odyssey turned toward the glowing heart of the alien formation. Broken, burning, but unyielding, the human ship began its final flight. As they approached, the alien fleet stirred. Hundreds of ships shifted position like predators sensing prey. Red light glowed across their hulls. A deep voice echoed through the speakers. It was Praetor Val, Captain Rhea. You survived the storm. Admirable. But the god's silence is eternal. You only delayed it, Rhea replied calmly. We delayed it long enough to find your weakness. Val laughed. You think you can fight gods? Rhea said no, but humans don't need to be gods. We just need to be loud enough. She nodded at Leo. He activated a final sequence, the human pulse, a program combining the ship's remaining power with the memory core of Earth itself. Shuri's eyes widened. Captain, that will destroy the ship. Rhea said, then let's make the noise worth it. The alien ships opened fire. Beams of white light sliced through the darkness. The Odyssey shook violently, alarms screaming. Leo shouted, shields collapsing. Suri said, the pulse is charging. On the main screen, the Nexus pulsed faster. The voice of Val came again. You cannot silence silence itself, Rhea whispered. Watch us try. The Odyssey dove straight into the alien swarm. Dozens of ships exploded around it. The sky turned red. The crew held on as the engines screamed under the pressure. Leo's hands trembled over the controls. Charging complete. Rhea looked at her crew, the faces that had followed her into darkness. For humanity, Suri whispered. For life. Rhea slammed her hand down. Fire! The Odyssey exploded in a burst of light and sound. A wave of pure energy expanded in every direction. Not silence, but music. Every frequency of human existence filled the void. Laughter, cries, whispers, thunder, ocean waves, voices calling out across centuries. It was the sound of everything the god of silence hated. The alien ships froze. Their metal skin melted into ash. The Nexus convulsed, its glow fading. Val screamed as his ship shattered. Then the silence broke. The entire alien network collapsed into itself, folding into a single point of light, and vanished. For the first time in ages, the stars around Saturn shone clear and quiet. Hours later, rescue teams from Earth reached the wreck. All that remained of the Odyssey was debris and silence. No bodies, no signal, no sound. Yet as the team searched, one technician picked up a faint transmission. It was weak, almost like a whisper. He turned up the volume. A soft voice came through, Captain Rhea's voice. She said, if you can hear this, humanity lives. The silence is gone. But remember, it listens, always. Then the signal faded. The technician looked out the viewport. For a moment he thought he saw something move beyond Saturn's rings. A faint shape of light, like wings in the dark. Then it disappeared. Weeks passed. The world mourned the loss of the Odyssey crew. Statues were built. Songs were written. People spoke of them as heroes, the ones who screamed into the void and made the universe hear them. But somewhere far away, in the black edges of the galaxy, a deep echo stirred. A whisper that sounded like breathing. It said softly, noise is never forever. And in that whisper a single pulse began again. Slow, patient, waiting. The god of silence had not died. It was only sleeping, and when it woke again, it would find a universe full of noise.